despair, and as illegal as everything seems, he will be granted his day in court, and when he is there, he will win.
Kaliwat kanang international lawyer na ang nagsalita pabor sa dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na sa huli ay mapapawalang sala at maakwit ito sa kasong Crimes Against Humanity sa ICC. Ayon pa kay Attorney Herman Frank ng California Court, ay hindi sinunod ng arresting team ang batas na nakapaloob mismo sa ICC. Ayon pa kasi sa Article 59 ng ICC, pagkatapos maaresto ng isang akusado, ay dapat dalhin ito agad at iharap sa competent judicial authority ng custodial state na ang ibig sabihin ay Korte ng Pilipinas. Ang warrant ay may visa laban sa kanya. Ang proseso ng pag-aresto ay ginawa ng tama. Ang kanyang mga karapatan ay nire-respeto. Bukod dito, ang taong naaresto ay may karapatang humiling ng pansamantalang paglaya habang hinihintay ang desisyon kung siya ay isusuko sa ICC. Samantala, Office of the Solicitor General umiwas sa tungkuling depensahan ng gobyerno laban sa mga petisyong inihain ng magkapatid na Duterte. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Ang Office of the Solicitor General na itinakda ng batas para maging abogado ng gobyerno ay umiiwas o tumatalikod sa tungkulin nitong depensahan ng gobyerno laban sa mga petisyon for habeas corpus na hinain ni Congressman Paulo Duterte, Mayor Basti Duterte at Kitty Duterte sa Korte Suprema para maibalik si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa madaling panahon. Ayon pa sa manifestation and motion na hinain ng OSG ngayong araw, March 17, 2025, hindi nila magagampanan ang kanilang tungkulin na epektibong depensahan ng gobyerno dahil sa matatag na paniniwala ng Office of the Solicitor General na walang kapangyarihan o jurisdiksyon ang ICC sa bansang Pilipinas.
My name is Herman Frank, by the way, and I am an attorney. I'm licensed in the state of California. I wanted to comment once again on the ICC case, International Criminal Court in The Hague, Netherlands, proceedings against Mr. Duterte. First, let me just state my overall position on this. Mr. Duterte will be acquitted of all charges. So don't despair. And as illegal as everything seems, he will be granted his day in court, and when he is there, he will win. He's got a great legal team, recently appointing an ICC specialist attorney from London, Cambridge law grad, super brainiac guy, plus a Philippines team of lawyers. And I think it's important to have both, because a primary defense in this case is that what Mr. Duterte did was legal in Philippines. And let's not forget, they had Senate hearings. Mr. Duterte appeared in front of the Senate. He explained what he did, why he did it. He said very clearly, I am the one responsible for it. You know, and what he was saying is, if it's right or wrong, it falls on me. Notice nobody prosecuted him in Philippines. There was no prosecution. Everybody knew what was going on here. Everybody realizes there's no denial from Mr. Duterte. He has been very clear about it, and yet nobody prosecuted him. So what does that tell you, right? This is what it tells me as a lawyer. If it were a violation of law, he would have been prosecuted. He wasn't prosecuted. That means it was not a violation of law. And if it's not a violation of law here in Philippines, it's not a violation in The Hague, Netherlands. It's not like you have to obey two levels of law. It's either legal or it's not legal. So he's going to be found not guilty. So please don't despair. Now, one of the things that I was a little bit angry about was somebody wrote that his Philippine lawyer team isn't so good, and they're like amateuristic or whatever, and they're fish out of water. Well, let's be clear about this. They're in The Hague, Netherlands, coincidentally, where my ancestors come from. I'm Dutch. And I've been to that court. I am a member of that court. In order to practice law before that court, you need to be a licensed attorney in good standing in your jurisdiction. That's all. Okay, so the Philippine team, they are licensed Philippine lawyers in good standing. They were admitted to practice before that court. So they have all the qualifications needed. This whole idea that you should have something else, untrue. The other issue is somebody mentioned that he was acting disrespectful to the court. What he said in court, and I thought it was excellent, he demanded proof that the court complied with Article 59, I have it right here in front of me, of the what's called the Rome Statute, which created the court. As a coincidence, I was at the United Nations the day that this law was passed in Rome. It's called the Rome Statute. It was done, I was there on an ag project. It was the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations building that was the host of the ICC court. It was kind of weird. It's like a place where you talk about food and agriculture, and here they're doing war crimes. I was there that day, and I saw it all happen. It was like, whoa. Article 59 says, a person arrested shall be brought promptly before the competent judicial authority in the custodial state, which shall determine, in accordance with the law of that state, that the warrant applies to that person. The person has been arrested in accordance with the proper process, and the person's rights have been respected. I want to tell you in the law, the word shall, it says a person arrested shall be brought. That word shall is mandatory. It means no exception. It means you must. It's like, what part of shall don't you understand, right? And what the attorney was referring to the judges was that didn't happen. And what he demanded was proof that either it happened or that there's some exception. And you know what? There is no exception. Shall means must. And it doesn't say unless the following. There's no exception to this, okay? He demanded proof that had been complied with or that there was some exception. You know what the judges did when he said that to them? Nothing. They 100% ignored it. You know, there's a rule in law that applies to that situation. And it goes like this. Silence can be inferred. An inference from silence is a confession. And right then and there, the judges, by not responding to it, basically confessed that Article 59 was not complied with. They basically admitted it. I mean, they know it hasn't been complied with. The legal team had every right to demand proof, either of compliance or some exception that they're not aware of. If the judge had an idea of an exception, they should give it. But they didn't. They were just silent. The court violated Section 59 for sure. And because of that, the question becomes, well, what's the remedy? What the court said is, oh, you'll have a chance later to address that. And it's like, no, that ought to be addressed right now. They set a different kind of hearing for September, which is called a confirmation hearing. In USA, we call that a probable cause hearing. It means there is good reason to believe that Mr. Duterte committed a crime. And that hearing will be evidentiary in nature. It'll be very interesting. But before then, the whole arrest, if there was a wrongful arrest of a defendant in the state of California, that defendant would bring that issue up immediately, not after trial. You do it now. The court said we can do it later. they should push it now and get that arrest declared unlawful. The result of that wouldn't be to end the case. It would be to send Mr. Duterte back to Philippines, have him stand in front of a judge in Philippines and make whatever arguments he would have that he should not be extradited. That step was skipped, and it should not have been. I hope they raise it and get it, bring it to a head in front of the ICC.
Malaman po yung sinabi niya at may kahulugan. Ay papaliwanag ho natin kasi iba ho si Baste, alam mo yan, tao na yan, hindi ho yan mahilig sa hindi ho yan mahilig sa, alam mo yun, sa camera, hindi ho ugali ng mga Duterte yan pero pag sila nagsalita, sigurado hong mabigat, di ba? Ganun ho yan kaya papakita ko sa inyo yung nangyari dyan sa Davao. Pero itong munang news ang ating ipakita para ho mas maintindihan na natin ang konteksto ng ginawa dyan sa Davao. Ito.
Isang solidarity walk ang isinagawa sa Davao City para kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte kasabay ng pagdiriwang ng Araw ng Davao.
Ay, naku.
Dito binatiko si Davao City Mayor Baste Duterte sa Pangulong Bongbong Marcos.
Naku po, patay tayo
Nakatutok
dyan.
si Argel Relator
Yari ka
ng
ngayon
GMA
dyan.
Regional TV.
Nagtipon-tipon
Grabe
Petro
yun.
Square sa Davao City.
Grabe.
At libo-libong lumaho sa Solidarity Walk para kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte.
Grabe.
Nagtanghali, hinarap sila ni Mayor Baste Duterte.
Naku po, ito na mga...
Salamat.
Naku.
Naglabas din siya ng saloobin
Eto na.
sa kanya'y illegal na pag-aresto sa dating Pangulo.
Di ko matingala. Nga nung ingunan ni karon, because Rudy Duterte stood up for every mga traditional politicians
Yun.
nila gusto
Yun.
nga kausapan aning nasuran ni
Nako, grabe.
nila gusto nga naa ng Rudy Duterte kay mapulinyaso ang ilang mga tola sa gobyerno.
Yun! Grabe, nakakakilabot ho ito. Diba? Lupit na sinabi niya dahil hindi ho siya, alam mo yan nga yung naiisip ko mga kababayan Sa totoo lang pasensya na pero ipasok ko lang yung aking input dito, Mayor Baste Alam mo, naiisip ko talaga yung ilan na lang talaga yung masasabi mong hindi trapo sa gobyerno. Iilan na lang. Alam mo yun, talagang pili mo na lang yung taong walang pakialam kung iboto ba siya uli, walang pakialam kung siya ba ay magustuhan mo. Basta siya gagawin niya kung ano yung tama. At kahit na may masagasaan, maraming magalit, ika nga, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po. Alam mo, bibihira na lang ho yan sa Pilipinas ngayon, yung ganyang klase, yung mananagasa ka ng kapwa mo para lang magawa mo yung dapat mong gawin. Kasi kung hindi, magiging parte ka na lang ng sistema, ika nga, di ba? Kasi alam niyo naman sa Pilipinas, if you cannot join them, di ba? Ikaw ay talagang yayariin. Ibig sabihin, marami ho dyan na, hindi, matuto ka makisama. Yan yung sa atin sa Pilipinas yung kultura natin. Ewan ko kung kultura na ba, kaugalian na nga ba ito? Kahit nga sa opisina di ba? Pag gumawa ka ng tama, ikaw pa yung tipong mali. Halimbawa, yung sabay-sabay kayong uuwi. Kailangan sabay-sabay tayo kahit wala pa sa oras, sa uwi na tayo. Ikaw naman, parang feeling mo pandaraya yung uuwi ka ng 30 minutes before na ma-dismiss yung inyong work nyo. Pagka ginawa mo yun, ang dating pa sa'yo, pal ka. Ang dating sa'yo, masamang tao ka, hindi ka nakikisama. Pag hindi ka nandaya, sama-sama mo. Si Pangulong, ganun din sa gobyerno, si Pangulong Duterte, hindi ho siya nakisama. Diba? Siya ho ay ginawa niya yung dapat niyang gawin, kaya maraming nagalit sa kanya mga politiko. Ika nga sabi nila, kung magnanakaw, sama-sama tayo magnakaw. Diba? O kaya kung ayaw mo makisama, walang pakialaman sa pagnanakaw. Kaya nung panahon ni Pangulong Duterte, ang daming alam na natin kung sino yung mga hindi ko nababanggitin pero ang daming bakit to? Ay puro magnanakaw Akala nila porket kaibigan, hindi ka na niyari sila ngayon, di ba? Ang dami hong ganyan, maniwala ko kayo sa akin. At Kaya marami ho dyan, yung iba, gumaganti na, di ba, ika nga, gumaganti na, naging, traidor. Alam natin na yun. Kaya yung iba dyan, bakit kaya nagtataka? Bakit kaya nagawa nilang traidor rin si Pangulong Duterte? Ang sagot ko, gumaganti. Bakit? Hindi sila nakadiskarte.